Uncle, make English okay na మీకు? అదే అదే అంటే మామూలుగా ఓకే చదివారా భగవద్గీత చదివారు మీరు? ఓకే సో so where were we? About the topic of pain, right? Who feels the pain? Yeah. Anything else did we discuss last week?
We discussed like Srimad Bhagavatam 1.7.7.
Yeah, that we did 2 weeks before only. Yeah, recap. Yeah.
And Prabhuji, we talked about how the solution to this fear, lamentation, and all that is listening.
It's the same thing. Yeah, same shloka from Bhagavatam. Yeah. Yasyam Vaishruyamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhakti Rutpadhyate Pumsaha Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. The only solution to Shoka Moha Bhaya is listening to the transcendental qualities and pastimes of Krishna. That is the only way. Yeah.
One question.
Yeah.
So in your example, if mind is not telling the body to feel the pain, so then it means who is controlling the mind?
If mind is not feeling the pain,
It's not telling the body to feel the pain.
Yeah.
So then who is controlling the
No,
mind?
mind does not tell the body. Mind relays the pain to the soul.
So, and soul tells the body. So ultimately, body.
No, body does not feel the pain actually. Body is inert. Matter is inert. It's a dead matter, right? So body does not feel any pain. It is the soul that feels the pain. Body deteriorates.
So
But
in that example, the body is actually not telling the soul to feel the pain.
No, it is the mind that is telling, not the body.
Yeah, the mind.
Yeah.
So in case, let's say, if I am feeling the pain, it means my mind is saying the soul to feel the pain.
Yes.
So for them who follow the yogic process, so for them, their mind is not telling the soul to feel the pain.
No,
Or the soul is dominating the mind there.
because they have controlled the mind. They have controlled the mind using their intelligence. Yeah.
So probably during anesthesia, then you're numbing the mind.
Anesthesia?
Because you don't feel pain during anesthesia.
Yeah.
So in that case, are we just controlling the mind through chemicals? And the mind is just dead, just not able to tell the soul pain?
Mind also becomes lull. Yeah. Just like how they make the senses dull, mind also becomes lull. Yeah.
Give an example, Prabhuji, when we are playing or something, if we get hurt, we won't feel it at that particular moment.
Mm-hmm.
When we are playing something, some sports,
Yeah.
if we get injured, we don't feel that pain for some time. Because we are so involved, our mind is focused on something
Yeah.
else,
Yeah.
we don't feel it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Say,
Especially kids, right?
yeah.
Kids, they run around here and there, and then they don't feel the pain. After some time,
Yeah.
they'll start crying.
They'll compensate.
Yeah. The mind tells them after some time, and then
Right. You fell down below?
yeah. Yeah. And the more most importantly, the point that we discussed, right? What happens when the soul goes to Yamaloka? There's no body, there's no gross body, but still the soul feels the pain. There's only mind and soul. Yeah.
When you say spiritual body,
Mhm.
go out. There is no mind and intelligence for a spiritual body.
In spiritual body also there is mind and intelligence, and ego is there. Not false ego, but ego is there.
Like it's full. There is also full form as well. Right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, full form, just like two-handed, two-legged form. But that body is made up of Satchidananda. Yeah. Whereas this gross body is made up of the Pancha Mahabhuta, earth, water, fire, air, ether. So there, in the spiritual body, even though mind is there, but the condition of that mind is different from the condition of this mind.
even when you go to hell also, there is a subtle body.
Yeah.
It's not like only the elements of spirit, mind, and the one is false ego, not those four. We still have subtle body that has senses, perceptions.
Mhm. Yeah, in hell there is gross body also.
And some of the gross bodies, not as gross as this.
No, full gross body, right? In the hell, there is full gross body. It may be in a different form.
Yeah.
It could be this
We
form or
call that
different
a
form.
Subtle body, right?
Hmm?
Sukshma. We call it a subtle body. Sukshma.
No, in the hell there is just like heaven. In heaven, Indra, Varuna, Vayu, all the apsaras, they have form like us, right?
But we call them as a sukshma body. Right? There's a spiritual body which is subtle than what we define as a
No. They have gross body also. That sukshma body concept that is coming from movies.
Okay.
Yeah, that is coming from movies.
Okay.
But in the material world, any planet, they have gross body, soul, and then subtle body.
Then where do we define the subtle body? Only in the hell we define the subtle body? Or
In the Yamaloka.
only in the Yamaloka?
That's a transition platform, right? Before the soul goes to hell, so the soul is sent to Yamaloka.
Okay.
Yeah, first for training. See, for example, in this life, a person is a human being. In the next life, based on whatever activities they have done in this life, whatever desires or whatever activities they have done, they are destined to get a tiger body in the next life. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, if a tiger body is given, the mind and mind, intelligence, and false ego, they'll be those three components, they'll be bewildered. So it'll be completely out of place. Now, before the tiger body is given, there's a training period in Yamaloka. Transition period. Probation period. So where the feeling that the pain or the feeling of having a body of a tiger is given there. Yeah.
That is called a subtle.
Yeah, that time there's only subtle body and soul.
Okay.
So the subtle body, mind, relays all that information to the soul. And the soul starts identifying with the tiger body. Yeah.
So in the hell, we can be animals and everything.
Yeah, it can be animal or human being.
I thought hell is like a temporary place
Mhm.
where we are punished and then it is sent back in a different form or
Hell is like eternal.
No.
Just like Swarga is eternal, hell is eternal. Because at least in the material, in the Earth planet, we have opportunity to hear Bhagavad Gita and chant so many things, right?
Yeah.
Sing kirtan, hear kirtan, go to temple, all those things. In hell, there is no temple. Occasionally, when Narada Muni comes to hell, that is when the soul, the jivas get an opportunity to start progressing from hell to earthly planet.
so so technically speaking, Earth is a promotion to hell.
Yes, yeah.
Like, we are on Earth, so we are already out of hell.
Yeah. We are in the
We have
upper
a chance
planet.
to go to Krishna's.
It is not only a promotion from hell, it is promotion from heaven also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we discussed that, right?
Yeah.
So even the heavenly bodies, they aspire, they pray to take birth in the earthly planet. Because in the heavenly body, it is only illusion, right?
Yeah.
Moha. Because of unlimited enjoyment, they are under constant illusion. Just like animals, they are always under constant fear. We discussed the example of a bird eating grains, right?
Yeah.
The bird eats one grain and looks 360 degrees. Looks around 360 degrees. Swarit is seeing, to take the grains. Or Venugopal is there to take the grains. The body is always under constant fear.
Yeah.
Similarly, in the heaven, because of constant unlimited enjoyment, they are under constant illusion, moha. That's why they take, they aspire to take birth in the earthly planet.
So how do they remember the God or Krishna? They do not.
Very difficult. Because everything is very nice for them.
Nice for them.
Yeah.
But like Indra and all, they also pray to, they always run to Vishnu or Shiva.
Only when there's trouble.
Only when there's trouble. Good. Yeah. So even though everything is nice in heavenly planet, but demons also come occasionally.
So that they can
They remember Krishna.
Yeah. To fight, demons also come there. Yeah.
But Prabhuji, I have one question. So, I mean, when we discussed last time or like few classes back,
Yeah.
we thought that after, there are 14 lokas, I think.
Yeah.
So, at this kind of in the middle, and Swarga and all of them are above this, above Earth.
Yeah.
So, let's say we did a lot of good or akarma. So we are not going to go to, we can go to Krishna's abode if we do a lot of akarma.
Yeah.
But if we do a lot of good karma, then we go to
Heaven. Yes.
So if it's a better world, we should be able to have capacity to pray God more. Right?
It's a better world from material perspective. But from spiritual perspective, that may be worse than hell actually. That may be worse than hell. Because at least hell, you might get some remembrance, some recollection of, eating prasadam in the temple. Or, singing some Bhagavad Gita shloka, and then you suddenly realize, oh, why am I suffering so badly in hell now? Oh, what is the way out? At least you'll have some inclination to think about that. But in heaven, everything is nice. Why will anybody think about God? No. Even if they go to Shiva or Vishnu, that is to protect their positions. When there is a threat to, as what it said, right? When there is a danger or threat to their positions, to protect their positions, they go to Vishnu or Shiva.
Not because they want to get freedom out of
No.
Yeah. Which was this one says, Prabhuji?
Which verse?
They fall down to earth and to go to Krishna, go from earth. Which verse does it refer to? Remember?
So which verse says heavenly bodies pray to take birth in earthly planet?
Only earth, I think it says only earth is possible to go to Krishna, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is possible even from heavenly planet or hellish planets also, but it is easier to go to spiritual world from earthly planet. It is easier here.
It's not like
no.
One channel.
Yeah. It's not like that. It is possible. Because that's why Narada Muni is a transcendental spaceman. He travels across all planetary systems, even to hellish planets, to deliver people. So it is possible to go.
Heaven, it's possible.
Yeah, even from heaven, it is possible to go to
be
spiritual.
Highly conscious about God and everything.
Yeah, so you should not misuse your free will. Yeah.
Even with lot of good distractions.
Yeah.
here at least we have sorrow and suffering.
Yeah.
To remember God.
Yeah.
We are in constant lamentation.
Yeah.
But there it's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brahma has to go through
these miseries. Yeah, right from the topmost living entity Brahma to an animal body, everyone is subject to miseries. Yeah.
People have long life, right, in heavenly planets, so they can practice more time and they can easily get that. People here.
If they practice. If they practice, then.
That's what I was also thinking, but yeah, there are much more distractions over there.
Yeah, there are much more distractions.
So like you said, even in our yugas, the earlier yugas were harder to go back to God.
Because the process. Compared to Kali Yuga, the process prescribed for the previous yugas, Satya, Treta and Dwapar yugas, the process was more difficult. What was the process in Satya Yuga? Meditation, tapas. And the process in Treta Yuga? Yagyas. And the process in Dwapar Yuga? Deity worship. Opulent deity worship. Opulent deity worship. You cannot put plastic beads or plastic garlands to the deities.
Yeah.
It has to be, gold, diamond, all those precious jewels. Opulent deity worship. So how many people could afford do that, even in those yugas? Yeah. So that's why in this Kali Yuga, it's very simple. Just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Yeah.
And go puja. Go. Puja.
Yeah, those are all catalysts. Those are all catalysts which will help your chanting. But primary prescription is chanting. Sankirtana. Sankirtana Yajna. Okay.
The reason why I bring it up is because we were discussing about heaven and hell.
Yeah.
And even in the yugas over here, it was very difficult in the earlier yugas.
Yeah.
This yuga is the best to go to heaven.
Yeah. So congratulate yourself and celebrate.
Let's not get promoted to heaven. Let's go to Krishna's abode.
Yeah. 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 మీకు అర్థమైంది కదండి? అందరు ఏమనుకుంటారంటే స్వర్గానికి వెళ్తే బాగుంటుంది అనుకుంటారు, కానీ స్వర్గంలో ఉన్న వాళ్ళే ఇక్కడ రావాలనుకుంటున్నారు, భూలోకానికి రావాలనుకుంటున్నారు. కారణం ఏంటంటే స్వర్గంలో ఎంతో అన్ని రకాల ఆనందం ఉంటుంది, అక్కడ ఎంజాయ్మెంట్ ఉంటుంది. అన్నీ బాగున్నప్పుడు దేవుడిని ఏం తలుచుకుంటాం మనం? తలుచుకోం కదా. సో ఇక్కడికి వస్తే, ఈ భూలోకానికి వస్తే కష్టాలు ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి తలుచుకుంటాం దేవుణ్ణి అని కోరుకుంటారు. స్వర్గంలో ఉన్న వాళ్ళు కూడా కోరుకుంటారు భూలోకానికి రావాలని. మనమేమో ఇక్కడ ఇన్ని కష్టాలు ఉన్నాయి, ఇక్కడి స్వర్గానికి వెళ్ళిపోతే బాగుంటుందని మనం అనుకుంటాం. యా, గ్రాస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్వేస్ గ్రీనర్ ఆన్ ద అదర్ సైడ్. ఎవరు లేరు. యా, శ్లోకం చెప్పాడు కదా నరేష్ ప్రభు, ఆ బ్రహ్మ భువనాల్లోక పునరావర్తినోర్జున మాముపేత్య కౌంతేయ పునర్జన్మ న విద్యతే. బ్రహ్మ నుంచి చిన్న పశువు దగ్గర వరకుగా అందరూ కష్టాలు అనుభవించాల్సిందే. బట్ ఈజీ మార్గం ఏంటంటే భగవన్ నామస్మరణ చేసుకుంటే అదే ఈజీ, అన్నిటికన్నా ఈజీ. తపస్సులు, యజ్ఞాలు, యాగాలు చేసిన దానికంటే ఖాళీ కూర్చొని, సోఫాలో కూర్చొని చేసుకోవచ్చు, మంచం మీద పడుకొని చేసుకోవచ్చు. చాంటింగ్, జపం ఎవరైనా చేసుకోవచ్చు అది. ఓకే, నౌ కమింగ్ బ్యాక్ టు ఒరిజినల్ క్వశ్చన్. What is tolerance? What is tolerance? So, యా, మీరు చెప్తారేమన్నా? వీళ్ళందరిది అయిపోయింది, వీళ్ళందరూ మీకోసం వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నారు.
అప్పుడు నా టాలరెన్స్ లెవెల్ పెరిగిపోతుంది. For me, tolerance is a situation where you will be like, I can handle this.
Yeah.
And reaching the threshold limit is like where you think that I cannot handle anymore, and there should be a support.
Yeah.
And whether the support system is whom you choose your support system, and getting more tolerance by the support. Especially God is the one who gives you support by giving access to different areas. So when you break that, where is your break point is a person would know where is it. This is my tolerance level and I cannot handle anymore. So a different situation has a different break point. Like pain, what's a tolerance point man can handle? Suffering or weaknesses or anything. It depends on individuals till where they can manage.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, whatever you all shared, they're all valid points. But
is it also, can we also tell that tolerance is also the ability to, that was in my mind, so let me try and bring that thought back.
Yeah.
To remember and at the same time thank Krishna for whatever situation you are in. If we take the story of what was his name?
Tukaram.
Yeah, we discussed that
Even
example.
though he is getting hit by sugarcane on his head,
Yeah.
the reason why his tolerance is high is because even in that situation, he's remembering and thanking Krishna.
No, I did not ask what did he do when he was tolerant.
Yeah, but
The
that is
definition of tolerance.
to be the ability to remember Krishna in whatever situation you are in.
No, forget about Krishna.
Okay.
So for for an outsider, how will you
For
explain?
an outsider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forget about 2.14 and forget about Krishna.
Manage the situation. How well you're managing the situation. To
Okay.
handle extreme
Oh,
situations.
to an outsider.
Handle
The ability to control your reaction to any particular situation, good or bad, will be good.
Okay.
I mean, accepting whatever comes in our.
Yes, very good. Willingness to accept things as they are. Willingness to accept things as they are. Now forget about good, bad, happiness, distress, forget about Krishna, forget about 2.14, everything. So in simple words, tolerance means willingness to accept things as they are. Willingness to accept things as they are. No matter what it is, happiness, distress, or anything. Yeah, whatever comes our way, willingness to accept things as they are. That is tolerance. Now, there are so many details, what is the degree of tolerance, as Kirti mentioned, so many things, right? But the definition of tolerance is willingness to accept things as they are. Now, it's very important to understand the definition. Otherwise, it appears as if we have understood everything about tolerance, but even after 4 hours of discussion, we are still struggling to understand what exactly tolerance is. So when you understand the definition of tolerance, then it becomes very easy to put it into practice. So it is essentially willingness to accept things as they are. So in the Tukaram's example, he was just accepting as it is. And there is a saying, right? The test of a great man, or the greatness of a man, is tested in provoking situations.
Yeah.
The greatness of a man is tested in provoking situations. When situations are favorable, then you don't need to practice tolerance, and you don't considered a great man. You're not considered to be a great man. But only when situations are odd, and when situations are very difficult, painful, that is when the test of a great man is proven. So under provoking situations, whoever accepts things as they are, then only he is a great person. Now we cannot wait until everything around us becomes favorable to us. So you can become transcendental to everything and then practice your sadhana. Because you cannot change your surroundings, you cannot change people, you cannot change the environment, you cannot change the situations, you cannot change anything, you cannot change your own children, so that's why you have to become transcendental to the situations.
Where do you call it? Dharma versus tolerance. Dharma relates to certain actions.
Yeah.
And
No, tolerance does not
actions.
mean no action. Tolerance does not mean no action. See, in all the four, we discussed 4 factors, right? To perform any action, there are 4 motivators: desire, fear, duty, and love. Now, in the last session, we discussed the difference between these 2 categories is tolerance, right? Now, let me ask you all. So we discussed that the main differentiating factor is the tolerance between the 2 categories: desire, fear versus duty and love. So in duty and love, because there is tolerance, then that keeps you inspiring, encouraging to perform that action for longer period. It is sustainable. Your actions will be sustainable and long-lasting. Now, let me ask you this. Does that mean in the first category, desire and fear, there is no tolerance?
No, there is.
When you do things out of your desire, there's no tolerance. Or when you do things out of fear, there's no tolerance.
No, there is.
There is. Yes.
Tolerance is always there.
Tolerance is always there. In all actions, motivated by all these four motivators, there is tolerance. But the degree of tolerance, the level of tolerance varies.
Yeah, the duration.
Yeah. From desire to fear to duty and love, it increases exponentially. Yeah. Now, you asked, right? Difference between dharma and tolerance. So tolerance does not mean no action, but how you respond or how you act, that is different. Versus when you don't tolerate and perform the same action. Yeah, the way you respond to things, the way you act upon the situations, it will be completely different.
Tolerate is basically buys you time to think, apply intelligence, what is dharma, what is dharma. Period of holding you back.
It is not like giving time so that you don't you don't react haphazardly, and it is not like the technique they say, right? You count 1, 2, 3 before you speak. It is not like that. Your total consciousness is different when you're working on the platform of duty or love. We discussed the example of mother's love for mother or father's love for child, right? Now, there's no concept of getting extra time to become more tolerant there. The consciousness is different there. The readiness, the willingness to accept things as they are is completely different when you're working on the platform of love. And that is material love. What we discussed about the parental love is material love. Now, what to speak of somebody working on the platform of love for Krishna? That tolerance should be much, much, much higher. When you're working on the platform, that means spiritual platform basically, when you're working on the spiritual platform for the love of Krishna, then the tolerance should be much, much, much higher there. Yeah.
Much higher, or the tolerance concept doesn't exist at that point.
No, tolerance exists. That's why Krishna enlisted all these qualities, tolerance, and then there is a list of other 25 qualities. They exist. Tolerance, compassion, all these things, they exist.
So do you know in around Bhagavan Krishna when he was in his material form, who exhibited those characteristics? Like for Bhagavan Ram, it was Hanuman.
Yeah.
Who exhibited that bhakti, that tolerance? Who with Bhagavan Krishna exhibited the same characteristics?
Yeah, all the saintly people from every age. We have so many saintly people. And the most recent we discussed, right? Tukaram. Yeah. Tukaram from, different Sampradaya, Vallabha Sampradaya. But we have Prabhupada, the best example, or Harivilas Maharaj in our temple. So have you ever seen Harivilas Maharaj getting agitated and angry on people? So the way he tolerates things and situations and the way he responds is completely different. So,
And here the highest tolerance only can be exhibited by Krishna himself. Everybody else.
Yeah, that is for sure. Yeah, any quality, Krishna has 64 qualities, right? Only Krishna has all the 64 qualities in 100%. Every quality in 100%, only Krishna has. Not even Shiva, not even Rama, not even, Vishnu, not even Brahma, not even the living entities. Even in a even in the spiritual world, the jivas do not have all these qualities in 100%. In 100%. Yeah. First of all, they do not have all the qualities, and each of those qualities, there's no comparison between what Krishna has and what we have. Krishna is unlimited. All the qualities that Krishna has, unlimited. Unlimited compassion, unlimited tolerance. Because of unlimited compassion, he's making an individual plan for each of us. Otherwise, he can make a global plan, right? Saying that, okay, no, I'll create one plan for all of you. You figure out.
Any quality can only 100% exhibited by Krishna only. Everybody else differs. Any quality, there are 64 qualities.
Yeah.
The 100% to be exhibited, it can only be done by Krishna.
Yes. Yeah.
Everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. So since we are talking about qualities, right? So tolerance is a quality. Okay. It's a divine quality, godly quality. There are several chapters in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna talks about these divine qualities. And Krishna says, whoever has these qualities, they are very dear to me. Okay. For example, chapter 13, chapter 12, chapter 16, 17. In all these chapters, Krishna lists, he gives a list of divine qualities. And he says, whoever has these qualities, they are dear to me. Now, a question to all of you. When you practice tolerance, when you accept things as they are, what is the byproduct or what quality will manifest in you?
Sthita prajna.
Sthita prajna. Sthita prajna is not a quality. It's a state. Very good. Yeah. It's a state.
But that is what we are trying to achieve with
Sthita prajna is a state where all these qualities are needed there.
Correct.
Yeah. If a person has these qualities.
Trying to achieve that state.
Yeah. No. My question is, there is another quality that manifests. When you practice tolerance, another quality that manifests in you.
Detachment.
That is the technique to develop tolerance.
Love.
Peace of mind.
Love.
That is another platform to develop tolerance.
Love.
Love is a motivator. Love is a motivator to practice tolerance.
Dasya. Dasya. Like
Dasya is not a quality.
Compassion.
Dasya is a rasa. Compassion, no, not necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily.
Happiness. And
I would say
not being
compassion is superior to tolerance. Compassion is superior to tolerance. Yeah. Because, okay, that's another question. Why compassion is superior to tolerance? We'll come back to that again later. So, first let's discuss this question. What is that quality? I mean, you may develop many qualities, but what is that primeval quality that will manifest in you when you practice tolerance?
patience.
Not being angry.
Patience, patience and tolerance, they go hand in hand.
Not being angry.
Not
being angry.
Not being angry, that's a symptom. When you become tolerant, you show the symptom of not getting angry.
Control.
Control, that's again symptom. Yeah. Tolerance is a quality. So how do you experience the tolerance is by seeing these symptoms. Or how do you say Swarit is tolerant? When you control, and when we are seeing that control in you, when we are seeing those symptoms in you, we can know that, okay, Swarit is tolerant. Now, if Prashant comes and he has a hot stick in his hand, now he puts that on your hand. If you don't cry, if you don't jump up and down, if you don't dance, that means you're tolerant. You're controlling. Those are the symptoms. Based on your symptoms, we can figure out whether you're tolerant or not.
If it's a tattoo needle, it's fine. Not the hot thing.
Yeah. So
What is the question again, Prabhuji?
When we are
That's a good question.
exhibiting
Tolerance.
exhibiting tolerance,
What is the
what
quality?
other quality manifests in us? Shama, Dama.
Accepting the situation.
Dama is, what is the Sanskrit word? I'm forgetting.
Shama is forgiveness, right?
Shama is forgiveness. Dama is tolerance, I think. Huh?
Controlling your
Shama, Dama, Arjavam.
Dama is like controlling your senses.
Controlling your senses.
Yeah.
Or is that Arjavam? I think Arjavam is controlling senses. Yeah, Arjavam is controlling senses. Shama, Dama. So you should know the answer, English word for that. Yeah. Satyam, Kshama, Dama, Shanti, Arjavam. Okay.
Shanti.
Huh?
Shanti.
No. That's another quality. Shanti is another quality.
Which comes after the Dama.
Yeah.
Jesus, Lord.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we trying to invoke Satchit Anand? I don't know.
Satchidananda?
Yes.
No. That's again a state. Satchidananda is a state. Blissful state. Just like
Blissful is
Sthita
only
Prajna.
Anand. Blissful is only Anand. Prabhuji. Satchit are different.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact word, but I think like when we exhibit tolerance or when we practice tolerance and we accept tolerance, and I'm pretty sure I'm wrong, but still, but the other quality that we or that manifests itself is maybe like more inertness in us, like
No. Why inertness?
because then you're not reacting to situation in an extreme way, no?
You're reacting. You're not responding, but you're reacting. You're reacting in a sensible way.
Is it should we not respond in a sensible way, not react? If I remember the last.
You should respond, not react.
Yeah.
You should respond.
So we are not reacting. We are responding. Right?
Yeah, but responding it becomes in a sensible way.
So we become more senseful. That's what manifests.
By the way, Krishna did not list that quality.
Sense.
So the clarification, whatever qualities Krishna listed. Yeah.
Common sense he didn't list.
No.
Okay.
Is it creativity? Because you need to be very creative to be tolerant.
What? It has to be natural, not creative. Just like mother's tolerance, it should be natural, not creative.
Dhamma is the control of the senses.
Okay, Arjava. What is Arjava? Okay, now I'll give you a clue. You all go to chapter 13, Shloka 8. Make a phone loan, okay, no problem.
Arjavam is simplicity. Arjavam,
Yeah.
simplicity.
Arjava is what?
Simplicity.
Simplicity. Okay.
Shanti is tolerance.
Shanti is tolerance.
Humility.
Okay. Huh?
Humility.
Very good.
Trustword.
Yeah.
Where did you get that? Okay.
Yeah, the same shloka, chapter 13.
13.8.
No, that was the first word. That's why his plan was to read the entire translation. But luckily, that happened to be the first word.
Happens a lot with me. When it is multiple choice, take the one. I think whatever I think it becomes like.
Process of elimination
I didn't have choice for it.
always works.
Actually,
Process of elimination always works.
I saw the first word humility and I don't understand it like if you are not tolerant, then you cannot be humble or there is no humility.
No, you cannot be humble if you are not tolerant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's a quality. It manifests by itself, and that is so. If you look at that shloka, right, chapter 13, 8 to 12, all those 5 shlokas are combined together there. Let me open that answer. 13.8. Amanitvam adam bitvam ahimsa shanti arjavam acharyopasanam shaucham stairyamatma vinigraha. indriyarteshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanu darshanam asaktir anabhishvangaha putradhara grihadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtovapattishu maichananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharini vivikta desha sevitvam aratir jana samsadi adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanarda darshanam etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yat atonyatha. So now translation. Swarit, why don't you read the translation?
The whole thing?
Translation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the first one.
Not the first one.
I need to tolerate my
Tolerate your laugher. Uncle, మీరు చదువుతారా? ఇంగ్లీష్ చదువుతారా? చదువుతారా? ఓకే, ఇది కంప్యూటర్ తీసుకొని చదవండి ఇది.
I can give.
Yeah. Can he read? Look at that.
I can read Prabhupada.
ఇది ఇవ్వండి, బెటర్ ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది. కీర్తి ఇది ఇవ్వండి.
But
Father.
పర్లేదు.
చదవగలరా బుక్? ఓకే,
we don't have to read this one? No.
The whole thing, translation, all.
బయట చదవండి.
Not the person.
మా అందరికి బయట చదవండి. ఓకే ఓకే
Oh.
ఓకే యా. సో యా, సారీ, యూ హ్యావ్ నో ఎక్స్క్యూజ్.
Yeah, I was reading, but then I got confused with he is reading.
Yeah, go ahead.
Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization, and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance.
Yeah. So here Krishna described the process of knowledge. Krishna calls it as the process of knowledge, and he describes that in a different way. Generally when we think of acquiring the process of knowledge, it is like we think of studying a book or hearing from a spiritual master, something else, right? But Krishna is very intelligent. He is describing the process of knowledge in a different way. So the development of these 26 qualities, Krishna is calling it as a process of knowledge.
Actually, it's itself is a knowledge. It is a knowledge.
It itself is knowledge, yes. Because anything in Krishna consciousness, the goal and process is same. The goal and process is same. So yes, it is process, and also it is the goal. It is the object as well as not the subject. Subject is we. Okay, the process and subject, object, both are same.
Action.
Huh?
Action and object are the same.
Are the same. Yeah. So, and besides these qualities, whatever is there is ignorance. It is not knowledge, it is ignorance. And what is the first thing in this process? Humility. The knowledge, the process of acquiring knowledge, the process of knowledge begins with humility. And how does one develop humility? Tolerance.
But in this verse, Krishna mentioned tolerance later.
Yeah.
That's
Food.
So let's see what Prabhupada writes about Shanti. That's a good point. Tolerance. Okay. Tolerance means that one should be practiced to hear, to bear. I'm reading the purport. Okay. Same shloka. Now Prabhupada gives a detailed explanation of each and every quality. Tolerance. Tolerance means one should be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others. If one is engaged in the advancement of spiritual knowledge, there will be so many insults and much dishonor from others. This is expected because material nature is so constituted. Even a boy like Prahlada, who only 5 years old, was engaged in the cultivation of spiritual knowledge, was endangered when his father became antagonistic to his devotion. The father tried to kill him in so many ways, but Prahlada tolerated him. So there are many impediments to making advancement in spiritual knowledge, but we should be tolerant and continue our progress with determination. Okay. The way I understand is humility is one. Okay. That's a primeval quality. Okay. And all other qualities. Now, if you look at a couple of qualities and analyze them, right? For example, simplicity. Simplicity leads to what?
Less expensive.
Being humble. Being humble. Right? And pridelessness. It leads to humility. It leads to humility. Similarly, tolerance. It leads to humility. Now, let's take one more example.
I think it's right to
Self-control.
I think it's right to mention humility first, and then pridelessness, and then the tolerance coming probably in the very end, because humility is probably on a higher level than tolerance. So
yes,
you cannot achieve the higher level before you achieve the root cause.
Yeah.
The root cause will be like once you need, before you go to humility, you need to be tolerant. So
Yeah.
from top to bottom is the order.
Yeah, you need to become all of this actually. To
Yeah.
become humble, you need to have all these
All of it.
qualities.
But
Yeah.
you have to start with tolerating, and then you can exhibit or manifest other qualities
Yeah. For example, one cannot become humble
without being tolerant.
by having only tolerance
Yeah.
and not simplicity.
Or like, yeah.
Yeah. Or one cannot become humble by achieving simplicity but not tolerance.
Oh, correct.
Okay. So all these qualities, they lead to humility.
Humility.
Yeah.
And the starting point, I mean, you have to start somewhere. So the tolerant will be probably
Tolerance.
is the starting point.
That is, there's no excuse. You have to tolerate it. Now, Krishna telling that in the form of a shloka, but even if you don't read that shloka also, there is no option for you.
Yeah.
You have to tolerate.
Correct.
Now let's take a practical, not a practical example, but let's try to understand tolerance from a material perspective, right? Now you keep Krishna aside, 2.14 aside, and this 13.8 to 12 aside, everything aside. So what is the significance of tolerance in material world? Why do we need tolerance?
Because there are like a lot of things that are not in our control.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't practice tolerance, they'll definitely cause all these negative emotions in us.
Yeah.
And distract from our spiritual path.
Yeah.
And so it's necessary to practice tolerance in this world along with. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Anything else? I'll not leave anyone. Be ready with your answers. And Prashant is not going to give you lunch without answers.
And the answer which is already said cannot be repeated.
Repeated. It cannot be repeated. And you cannot use words like attachment, detachment. Yeah.
Maybe.
What was the question?
Why do you need?
No, I was just repeating what Swati said.
Oh.
You have to be calm. In material world.
Material world, yeah.
Say, for example, you are stuck in
traffic.
Yeah.
You have to be tolerant and patient. Without that, you will lose. Like,
Yeah, that's a simple example, but at a higher level, in material world only, at a higher level, what is the significance of tolerance? Venugopal?
If you're not tolerant, you're going to be always very anxious and worried.
Will be anxious
And worried.
and worried.
To progress, you need to be tolerant in whichever part.
No, you're mixing up the process of tolerance and the tolerance itself. Tolerance itself means you're tolerating anxiety and what is the other one you said?
Worried.
Worry.
If you're not tolerant, then you're always going to be anxious and worried, or you're going to have those emotions. So you have to be tolerant so you don't be anxious. And
But one of the functions of tolerance is to tolerate anxiety. So my question is, what is the significance of tolerance in the material world? Why do we need tolerance?
To be able
Yes.
to
Advance.
Hmm?
To
progress.
advance.
To advance from where to where?
Advance in
Reach your
any
goals.
goal that you have, like be it spiritual or for example, if I want to, let's say, I want to become a director or,
Yeah.
or a vice president, right? And in order for me to achieve that goal or complete that journey,
Mhm.
I need to have tolerance not only towards, let's say, not only towards my colleague,
Yeah.
but to other situations that are happening around in my work. Like for example, like I work in a bank, so I have
Mhm.
to deal with my customers. Sometimes they are nice, sometimes they're not.
Mhm.
And if you're not tolerant towards them, then you'll probably get fired.
Yeah, you're getting closer to what I'm trying to convey, getting closer. So you're giving an example, but I want to put that in one sentence and make it generalized for all situations. The traffic example or the example that you gave.
Yeah. For advancement, the tolerance is necessary. That is my answer. Like, the significance of tolerance is to advance.
Okay. Yeah, Kiran.
to be able to treat others with respect so that you can see like Paramatma in others.
No, put God aside.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, put Paramatma, God, everything aside. Huh?
Now intention putting aside.
Yes.
Yeah, so to be able to treat others with respect,
Mhm.
you need to have the tolerance.
Okay.
To
I think
understand the
if
different
we are-
person perception, when you are tolerant and you're handling the situation, then you will be able to understand the other person's inspection and handle the situation much better than losing out on your emotions. Is that what you mean?
I mean to say, if you're not tolerant, you'll not be able to have the respect to others or the mankind. That's why you need.
Yeah, that's also a good point. That's a good point. And one step closer to what I'm trying to convey.
If we are not tolerant,
Yeah, Venugopal, go.
if we are not tolerant, it will create chain of reaction. So worry, and then
It will cause more distress.
anxiety and stress, and finally we forget love.
Okay. That's
So
also a
if we
good
are
point.
But we actually might remember that word, but yeah.
That's also a good point. Yeah.
Completely we will go in a negative direction.
Yeah.
So if we are tolerant, then intelligence will start working.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Good.
I
Yeah.
think if we are tolerant, we can practice humility, Prabhuji. If not,
Remember Swarit's condition?
oh,
Words that are said cannot be repeated.
oh,
Thank you for that condition in the beginning.
Because I would have done it.
then I'll stick to my first one.
What was your first one?
That is,
But you cannot repeat the condition. Now it's a loop.
So you have to come up with the second point.
point. Okay.
So
Yeah.
thermodynamically, we are in a closed system.
We are in a closed system.
We are in a closed system. So we don't have free will to travel infinite path.
Okay.
So the collisions are unavoidable. From the point of view.
So because it is unavoidable, we are tolerating. Because it is unavoidable, we are tolerating.
Something that is in vision and accepting things as it is will control other person's emotion or other situation. You cannot control the situations every time. In that situation, tolerating and accepting whatever we have in place and thinking about what's the
Can you
next
go
step.
back 3 or 4 words before?
I don't know what I said. That's the problem. That's the problem. I don't know.
You are like you're almost close to what I was trying to convey.
I wish I got it.
But I want to make sure.
cannot-
Did you use that correct word or okay?
Like what cannot move forward, right? And accepting the situation as it helps you that
Yeah, that's the same thing. Advance. To advance. To advance.
so I explain it. So I explained it.
To advance it. Yeah.
Synonyms are also not.
It's not possible.
So in English, there is a thing called
Only dictionary.
in English there is a thing called tautology. Do you know tautology? Tautology means basically repeating the same words.
Paraphrase.
Repeating, no, not paraphrasing actually. Paraphrasing like sentence, right?
Yeah. Okay.
This is a word.
Okay.
It's almost like synonyms.
Yeah.
Using a different word to convey the same thing.
Yeah, that's what we do in all our assignments.
Tautology.
Very, very well versed with that.
Redundant words. Tota, yes, like tota, like a bird repetition. Yeah, okay. So now Kiran said something, Ashok said, Venugopal said, you said thermodynamics, right? You said, and you forgot. You did tautology.
That progress, but then he expanded on it.
Yeah, advance, progress, everything is same.
So he was saying it a different time. I was more basing it on material world where like giving example of like if you want to go in your advance in your career per se. That is what I was saying that's where tolerance is much bigger. The significance of tolerance increases when there is a certain goal to achieve.
Yeah, my
And that is the
progress was
question.
more spiritual.
But-
than-
Yeah, no, forget about spiritual.
Right? Like, and even you not always normal material, like progress in anything, even to be a good parent, you need to have that tolerance. You need to progress as a parent. Otherwise, you can't just give up.
You are
parent.
99 steps closer.
You can't give up being parent.
You're just one step away.
Something happens to somebody,
You're just one step away.
To make any
So
progress, we
that-
need tolerance.
So there was.
No, that's already said. Progress, advance.
Even
Everything is
Paraphrase.
paraphrased, repeated, tautologized. Tautologized.
Second goal is either to settle the dispute that why did you bump into. So the goal will always be. It is very difficult to be, at least I can say for myself, to live a material life without a goal. The goal can be either very minuscule or it can be very a big goal to achieve, like maybe you want to earn $10 million. Or you want to be like, okay, today I just want to get through the day, or I want to feed the dignity. That's also good. So to achieve any kind of goal, you will need some level of tolerance. If there is zero tolerance, then you will not achieve the goal. Like zero tolerance is, oh my God, so many devotees are coming. Why did I call them? I'll just cancel the plan. That's no tolerance. So your
Yeah.
goal was not achieved.
And what is the highest goal from material standpoint? What is the highest goal? And why we need tolerance?
Surrender to Krishna and be in.
No, material world.
That's a
Material world.
highest goal.
In the material world, what is the highest
To achieve peace, I think it's still material.
to achieve peace? Peace is a byproduct of tolerance.
Yeah. I think highest goal is for any, or rather, I would say most of the people is to lead a well settled, happy life and enjoyable life.
Yeah, that's a byproduct of yeah,
To be
That's the
very
highest
opulent.
Hmm?
To be very opulent.
Yeah.
to be very
Rich
opulent.
and live with
Money.
fancy car.
No, not necessarily. A person who is tolerant may not be very opulent.
To conduct all our worldly.
He may be
duties.
peaceful, happy, but may not be very opulent.
Wait.
I thought the question was,
Yeah.
what is the highest goal of material?
Oh, okay. Oh, you're answering to
So I'm
that.
saying
Yeah. Opulent. To be okay.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Yeah.
That's why I was saying the same.
Opulent, right?
To
Okay.
complete all our
But
worldly
more than
duties.
opulence, there is something else that people are looking for.
Happiness.
To complete all our
Sense
worldly
gratification.
duties that we were sent to do. In faith.
Okay.
No, not fate. But we are ascribed to be like,
Yeah, they said
We
some
want to
words
be-
like by 30, have kids, or
No,
like
no.
that kind of thing.
no.
Well,
That
fine.
we-
Okay, I
we-
forgot. Prashant, you have anything to say? What is the significance of tolerance in the material world?
So in the material world, bad things can happen.
Yeah.
At least, so bad things can happen to human beings. So the way at least we can, instead of succumbing up to the bad things and then getting depressed or whatever, so the way to come out of that is to have tolerance towards it,
Yeah.
so that we can move on or accept it, and then so that's the importance of having a tolerance.
Okay.
Person will get tolerance.
ఓకే అంకుల్ మీరేం చెప్తారండి? టాలరెన్స్ తెలుగులో ఎలా చెప్పాలి? తెలుగులో ఓర్పు ఎందుకు ఉండాలి? మనిషికి ఓర్పు ఎందుకు ఉండాలి? ఎందుకు అవసరం అసలు? అంతం లేదు, అసలు ఎందుకు ఉండాలి? ఎందుకు ఉండాలి? ఎందుకు?
కష్టాలను కానీ సుఖాలను కానీ తట్టుకోవడానికి కావాలి. చెప్పేదాన్ని బట్టి మనం తట్టుకోవాలని ఒప్పుకోవాలి. ఆవేశపడితే పని కాదు. ప్రతిదానికి ఆవేశపడితే ఓర్పుతోనే దాన్ని జయించవచ్చు. సో ఆవేశం పడితే అది కొన్ని సందర్భాల్లో మంచి జరగవచ్చు, కొన్ని సందర్భాల్లో
ఇంకా పెద్దది అవ్వచ్చు. అది
ఇంకా పెద్దగా ఓర్పుతో నుండి దానికి సమాధానం సరిపోతుంది.
మంచి పాయింట్ అది కూడా.
We can see the solution. We found the answer from there. We can see the solution to it.
Yeah. So more than opulence, more than money, more than you said happiness, right? So we can derive happiness from you are 100% correct. Happiness is the highest goal. By having more opulence or by having good health or anything, the highest goal is happiness, or maybe that is the only one goal, right? Everyone wants to be happy. Whatever we are doing, the only motive is happiness, to become happy. And how can we become happy, or the significance of tolerance in the material world to achieve the higher goals is to sustain in relations. To sustain in relations.
Yeah.
To sustain relations. To sustain in relationships.
One of the answers, teacher.
One of the answers? No, this is the thing. For example, what Swami said, advance. If I want to advance at my workplace, so what are you doing there? You are sustaining your relationship with others. Your manager, your peers, your colleague, your subordinates.
Correct.
You're sustaining the relation. And someone said, you said parental love. Yeah. So you are
being parents. You can't surrender and walk away.
Yeah. So to sustain that relationship, you need tolerance. Ultimately, it boils down to relations. Sustaining, and you also said, right? If we don't give proper respect to others, that means you are maintaining the relation. You are trying to protect that relationship there. So to sustain relations in the material world, you need tolerance. They say, right? Compromise, adjustment in marriages, especially. It's nothing but tolerance. అంతే కదండి. ఇప్పుడు పెళ్ళైన తర్వాత భార్యాభర్తలు ఓర్పుతో లేకపోతే అటు ఇటు అయిపోతుంది కదా, అట్లా. అది.
Prabhuji, I have one question to the topic previous to this, all these questions.
Okay.
You said,
Not related to tolerance.
Not related.
Okay.
You said Krishna. We talked about 64 qualities of Krishna.
Yeah.
And how how he enjoys or he goes through those emotions as well, and he's the supreme enjoyer of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So does he also feel sad for us, or does he suffer for us? And that's one of the emotion or one of the
Yes.
quality as well.
Compassionate, right? Compassion. He is compassionate. His compassion is unlimited. Yeah, he is more anxious than all of us. And for all of us to come back to him, to go back to him. Yeah. We are not that anxious. We are not that anxious. Yeah. So we want to be ignorant of him, but Krishna is more anxious, more eager than all of us. Yeah.
But Prabhuji, it's I think because we don't know what we are missing. If I think all of us had a glimpse of what's waiting out there for us,
Yeah.
then I think we would all be more excited.
Yeah.
We're so like covered by Maya, we can't see anything beyond. So I think once we get the glimpse of that, and we know, oh, that mango is going to taste really good, we want to eat that mango.
Yeah.
And we don't even know what it tastes like. Why would we want it?
Yeah.
So I feel that's the problem.
Yeah, higher taste. We don't, unless we know the higher taste, we'll not make an attempt to get that. Yeah, that's a good point. Since you raised this point, yeah, you had something to say?
It's a stupid question, but
Yeah.
If Krishna wants us to come back, I mean, maybe we are here because we questioned about why Krishna has to be supreme, or like why can't we be in his place, kind of question.
Yeah.
So Krishna could have like just showed us what the only destination or where we would end up if we thought like him, or if we experienced, if we wanted to, let's say, eat, we want to taste mangoes or something like that. So he could have just made us imagine the taste and still be in same loka, rather than like putting us through a lot of suffering.
Because
I mean, this is a very stupid and very bad question.
Yeah.
You know?
Instead of sending us to material world and asking us to go through the punishment, he could have given experience. He could have given us glimpses of suffering. He could have pressed the remote control on a 100 inches TV and showed what suffering looks like, right?
Yeah, like VR kind of thing.
Yeah.
Virtual reality.
That is true.
Maybe that's the experience which we are going through now.
Yeah, no, that's what her question is. Her question is, instead of going through the experience, why can't Krishna just show us the experience? And
saying, Prabhuji, that showing of that experience is what we are going through now.
Yeah.
We don't
okay.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a glimpse.
Yeah, yeah. That is also a good point. You know, he's showing us the experience by making us practically go through it. But her question is more finer. Instead of even going through this, he could have just made it easy for us. That's her point.
That this is probably
This is the easiest.
This is the easy. This is actually the movie trailer.
Yeah, he's showing
this is the movie
practically
trailer.
to us. That's what.
One time there is another Krishna story.
Yeah.
They travel together, show us Maya.
Yeah.
What she's saying?
But not even all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have made it easier for us.
Like not saying, yeah.
He could have made it easier for us.
By staying in the Golo, Krishna could have given a virtual experience.
Yeah.
Like for example.
Yeah, correct. Virtual experience.
Zoom, like a Zoom.
VR. He could have given us glasses, those lenses, and VR.
Like Sanjay was able to explain what's happening on Kurukshetra to Dhritarashtra
Yeah.
being there.
Maybe Krishna wanted to do that. Maybe we said, I want to experience, I have the free will, let me go and do it. I don't know.
Just for the record, I want to
About the experience.
just for the record, because Krishna is always listening and watching. If I ever ask that question again in Golo, I don't want to experience physical. Give me a virtual experience.
Give a virtual reality.
This is going on record. I'm saying it on the record. Even if I say over there.
Somebody will ask,
Don't listen.
why not?
Don't listen to
the other
me.
one? Every time people will ask, if something is there, people will ask, why not the other one?
Yeah. They are not satisfied. Yes, that's also a good point. Even if he gives virtual reality, they are not satisfied.
Maybe I'll not do like that. Maybe I'll do this.
Yeah.
Why can't you test that?
Yeah.
I think whatever before we were discussing about freedom, that
Free will. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because we had that,
There is always a chance of
Desire.
misusing that.
yeah. I mean, so what she said. Let's say I want to eat a mango. So that's a desire. So because we had that desire, Krishna gave us the free will, the freedom, to experience it, and the only way we can do it, we have to
By eating the mango.
by eating mango, and we
That's
have
the only
to
way.
commit to that.
Yeah, unless you eat the mango, no matter somebody showing a beautiful mango and then smell and you're not satisfied. You're satisfied only when you eat the mango. Similarly, you're satisfied only when you go through the miseries, which is a third class intelligence. Okay. First class intelligence is you hear and you learn. Second class intelligence, you see others suffering and you learn. Third class intelligence is you go through the suffering and you learn. And worst is fourth class intelligence. You go through the suffering, but you never learn. But you never learn. వాడు అనుభవిస్తాడు కానీ ఇంకే నేర్చుకోవడం అనమాట వాడు. అది ఇంకా మరీ దారుణం.
From this story, Narada and Krishna, and when Krishna has to show what is Maya.
What is Maya? Yeah.
So, isn't this what is happening to us from the story? What is the takeaway? Because Narada was there.
Yeah.
Krishna was there all the time in the place where they were.
Yeah.
And the Narada went through the whole experience.
Yeah.
So, isn't that what's happening?
Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
He's like a Krishna. Narada not completely sent to some place where still with Krishna, but he's under the Maya. So his presence was there, so
yeah.
His presence was also in the Maya.
Because Narada is a transcendental devotee, transcendental person and devotee of Krishna. Krishna gave him VR. Krishna gave him VR, made it easier for him. Whereas we are not saintly people, we are not transcendental. That's why it's a different process for us. Different process for us. So, yeah.
I think that this is probably VR. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the best form of VR that we can get.
Narada got best VR.
Yep.
In that context.
Yeah, we are in metaverse.
This is the best bargain. I meant to say, this is the best bargain that we can. Yeah.
We are in metaverse.
Metaverse.
And we are buying homes.
We need
and
multiple
everything.
VRs, not just one VR, but we need multiple VRs. The other day, somebody was telling, who was telling, were you telling that people started buying properties in VR?
Metaverse.
Yeah, you tell, right?
Yeah. They don't have homes in real world.
Yeah.
And they
it's
are
virtual life.
collecting all the money and buying in metaverse.
Yeah.
It's
Which is
virtual
not
life.
even real.
It's got the Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, okay, at least, I mean, it's cryptocurrency, you cannot see, but at least you can comprehend.
Yeah.
This one, this is completely asat. Completely asat.
Will come after 2 years.
Huh? It will,
Showing plan and then
they'll say that you can see it after 2 years.
But see where?
Promises.
See where?
It's something
See in VR.
Yeah, that's the thing, but still not real. Like
Yes,
not-
the real also will be VR.
Yeah.
But like they have VR like how land, they have yachts,
Yeah.
luxury yachts, and they have spent like $1 million buying that in virtual reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
NFTs.
their idea is to lease it so that they can get a VR experience at home.
Krishna.
No,
People.
Like that. That's why I thought.
The whole idea is that there's an imaginable space and you have an imaginary house.
But I think you can earn money from that, considering
Aparna, can you give me that jacket?
It's not
Yeah,
like
well, yeah.
Getting an important phone call. I have to check.
shopping mall,
Yeah.
everything in VR. Yeah, and even like they have yards and luxury airplanes, everything. Even when I looked up, it was like 60K, 100K. I'm like, no, people are crazy.
I mean, if somebody wants to invest and make money out of it, okay, sure, do it. But if you're going for that experience, then I mean, like, I'm going to question your life choices.
I mean, they'll buy and they'll use that space to, like, for example, they are trying to recreate how people were, I mean, how animals were there like a few centuries back.
Like in Sahara or Serengeti, like
With that big
in
mammoth
the
and
forest,
big
yeah.
tusk, right? They're extinct now, but they're trying to recreate it. But to recreate it, they need some space.
Yeah.
So that will be bought by schools, us, and everyone. to experience it.
Now,
So
phone
they are
with
kind
again.
of making that
There?
that land.
Okay.
Like they're creating the
Yeah, Prashant,
story,
you can-
they're recreating the history. Like, okay, Romans were fighting the Greeks.
Yeah. kind of.
Okay, then you have a front seat in the house. Look how they're fighting.
Even for like a few minutes,
Yeah.
they'll charge us some dollars,
Yeah.
and that will be given to all these owners. Like,
I wonder if someone buys it and then makes farm out of it. And I'll pay
yeah,
to
yeah.
watch
Hopefully that will be there.
Yeah.
that. So AI creates a good version.
No, Harilas Maharaj had a vision to create VR for Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
You know, and
That would be huge hit for Vijay.
yeah, so one person created a prototype of it, and it's in the works. Yeah, Facebook people are working on it.
Because there is a spill the beans, Mataji.
Spill the
What's
beans.
secret? Come on. We
I
don't.
work in that department.
Oh, you?
Mataji, like, let the kids stop. Let the kids stop. I'll speak later.
Probably she's the one who is taking all the money.
Yeah.
But I worked in that department.
So
So I
tell us.
know all the content that they've created.
Okay.
Tell us.
For metaverse.
Tell us. Mataji.
The research org.
Yeah.
They are not allowed to.
Okay.
We are forgetful because we don't remember what happened last class. We don't remember that.
I've seen the kind of work that they have done. The kind of
What are they doing? Give us some.
I mean
Some
like houses and like real estate that they're buying and all of that. So no more than that.
There is a website called Apply. So there they have even sold, like they have London kind of thing. It's all sold out.
London city is sold.
2 years back. During pandemic 2020,
Oh.
I was researching on these things. So everything is sold.
Mm.
So they have some small plot somewhere there that is like 10K or 12K back then.
Okay.
Might have gone down if you're interested.
Mataji, spill some beans.
This is Asat me Asat. Asat me Asat.
That interesting part is the research side of things.
So what are they making apart from the historical thing, the space experience?
Whatever they have been researching is going to come 4-5 years.
What are the research? What you are?
I told you, real estate, different. I
Real
mean, their vision is
They're building a
to
platform which anyone can
have a-
use. Like tomorrow, you want to do something in healthcare, for example, you can do it. You want to do real estate, you can do it. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Like,
They're giving some advertisements now as well.
even if
Basically
they're-
replicating life in a virtual platform. Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, we are trying to
So you're
do
right.
it, right? So you want to
Yeah,
see
yeah, but
how
then if
we're
it's
trying
out
to
in
create
Yeah,
gods.
exactly. That's a good point. You know, we are trying to become God, right? That's our disease.
Yeah.
So VR is another kind of
Creating
action
value. Yeah.
where we can see if we can create
Something.
virtual world, virtual creation.
Microsoft had one ad, right, some time ago,
Yeah.
like how you can be the doctor being home with
Can
the,
operate.
VR,
Yeah.
with the VR, and
That was
the
very
surgeon on the other end in the hospital with a VR, he can actually kind of see the patient and then operate
Yeah.
by just talking from the home. They had I don't know if they did a prototype or
Yeah,
not, but they
yeah,
had an
yeah.
advertisement of that.
And then
But for that, you don't need VR, right? They can just a video call. Just a video call is enough, right?
And they can
This
also
much
find
investment
can
and
see
VR, the setup is not needed. Just a video call is enough.
Right now, company wants everyone to come to work, right?
Yeah,
With metaverse and VR, sitting at home, they'll get real life experience.
yeah.
Maybe in the
I don't know,
middle.
whatever it
But
is,
people
but
who want
new ways
something
to make
big
money.
at home,
Yeah.
We are so social. Even the introverts. I was an introvert. My mind was completely like I became insane sitting at home, and for 3 years. I mean, 1 year I was okay. Next year I was like, why am I living for it? Everything is false and everything is like Maya. Why am I living? And now I'm slowly understanding and tolerating both hybrid this thing kind of, and just becoming more tolerant.
In our office, everyone was asking like how you felt. So there was one girl and she's in an apartment and she literally said she got so sick, she was talking to plants in the house. She said that.
That's why I always
And
when
when-
to meet for the class.
Yeah,
That's why I
when they
always say.
opened,
Yeah,
Open
in person. You should come in person. I'll make it mandatory. I'm not going to have Zoom call.
They said like, it's okay, you can talk to the plants or wall. If the wall or plants talk back to you,
That's when the problem comes.
psychiatrist.
You need to become tolerant.
And that's the next step. You are already starting talking to them.
But yeah, that's a good consciousness, talking to plant, because plants have life and they have mind.
The point is you are not stepping out of the home or the apartment, right?
Yeah.
So literally for 3 months, like you're literally closed.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's why I mean, after it manifested, right? Now we think back, I feel very lucky, Prabhuji. I just got married before
Before
COVID.
pandemic.
2019 December was our marriage.
Okay.
If I had been alone, if I had been bachelor, by now I would have been in asylum.
Then instead of mad Prashant, it would have become mad Madhuri. Mad Madhuri. Yes. Mad. Two mads.
And everything happened, everything that amounted, the previous suffering, everything amounted to that. I felt like that single point.
Yeah.
Because my parents, just before everything lockdown, moved with my brother who was in Hyderabad. Otherwise, they were living alone in Chicago village.
Yeah.
And they moved.
They would have felt
yeah.
depressed, right?
Yeah. Because he could go out and get groceries and other stuff. Right? It was complete total lockdown, and I would have been very worried from here. And everything like happened. So
yeah, Krishna makes arrangements.
My dad retired in 2020, 2019, December. After our marriage, in 10 days, my dad retired.
Yeah.
So that was also good, because after that people could not go to offices, and there was like issues with in Andhra, there was issues with giving salaries and everything.
Yeah.
There's so much happening. So
Yeah.
we all felt much more.
అంకుల్ కూడా ఇండియాలో ఉన్నారు కాబట్టి ఇంకా ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ చాలా చేసి ఉంటారు. మనం ఇక్కడ
they could see death.
వెళ్ళాలంటే భయం ఎత్తుకెళ్ళాము. మనిషి ఎవరు కనపడతా కూడా పక్కన తీసుకున్నాము.
అవును, మనుషులతో మాట్లాడిన కూడా భయమే. కరెక్ట్.
మన ఫ్రెండే అన్న గురించి అంటే తప్ప
ఫ్రెండ్, ఇంట్లో ఫ్యామిలీ మెంబర్స్ తో మాట్లాడాలన్నా భయమే. Very good. Yeah. So it's 1:10. I think we can continue another 20 minutes because we started late, like around 11:40 or something. We continue until 1:30. So now coming back to your point. What point did you raise?
I remember Prabhuji.
Yes, so forgetful.
Krishna's very forgetfulness, but I remember Prabhuji saying, if we all had a little bit of taste,
higher taste.
Because I think of this often. I feel like I would be more inclined to call for Krishna, chant better if I knew what I was missing, or if I had a clearer vision. Even through books, if we get the information what Goloka is, I still don't think we have any idea. Maybe Acharya, like Prabhupada, he talks, I listen from that. He has experienced it. He's still like, as if he's been there. He's saying, you guys, you have to go back. But I, as a fallen soul, not able to imagine it. If I did, I feel like I would be more dedicated. So
she has a very good point with regards to the context of the shlokas that we are discussing. But before that, Madhuri, what is happening? So if you look at the context on the flow of the shlokas, starting from 2.13 actually. 2.12 is when Krishna started speaking, right?
2.11?
Yeah, 2.11. Yeah. So 2.12 and 13. Thank you. Yeah, so 2.12 and 13 is when Krishna started speaking about soul. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipa nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam adaparam. And then Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tatha dehantara praptis dhiras tatrana muhyati. And then there are more until I think shloka 40 or so. Krishna continues speaking about soul. But in between, he spoke 2 shlokas about soul and then tolerance. And then he continues with the description of spirit and matter, all those things. Next shloka is 2.15. Yam kina vyatayantyate purusham purushashrava samadukka sukham dhiram somrutattvaya kalpate. And then next shloka 2.16. Nasato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate satah ubayorapi drishtontas svanayos tattva darshidhivi. So in all these shlokas, Krishna is telling differences between matter and spirit. But in between here, amidst the 20 shlokas that Krishna talks about spirit and matter and about soul, he placed this in the middle. Not exactly in the middle, but he launched the point of saying about soul, and then talked about tolerance, and then he continued the rest of discussion about soul. So that places a very significant importance why Krishna did that way. Because if Krishna talked about tolerance separately, outside the context of soul, is it possible to practice tolerance?
Without soul?
Without the knowledge of the soul. The answers are yes. The question is, without the knowledge of the soul, is it possible to practice tolerance?
Yes.
The options are yes, no, maybe, not at all.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, it is possible, you are saying.
Yes.
Without the knowledge of soul, it is possible to practice tolerance. Okay?
Maybe. I'm not saying maybe.
Maybe. Okay?
Because a little part of it, he might have done like Vikarma in previous lives that could give us more tolerance in this life. So we get, we are naturally, I see some people naturally better at tolerating things. That then now after learning about this previous Vikarma and everything, sorry, Akarma. Previous Akarma, I understood that okay, maybe they have done lot more good things, that they are very tolerant and very sorted in certain ways. So maybe some could be because some part of it could be because they had attained good Akarma.
Okay, what do others say? Nobody said no, huh?
Yes.
I take no.
I leave it.
Yes.
Yes. Everybody is saying yes. Everybody is saying we can practice tolerance without knowledge of spirituality also. Yes, we can, but not to a great extent. We can try to do. The correct answer would be maybe.
Some tolerance is there even in atheists.
Yeah.
Especially if atheist person is a parent. There is some tolerance, but not to a level of a spiritual person.
Yeah. So you can tolerate small things. When we say maybe, right? Maybe is the right answer. We can tolerate small things and little things, but when big things happen, like COVID or when big things like death, when death happens, you cannot tolerate it without the knowledge of spirituality. That's why Krishna put the topic of tolerance amidst these shlokas talking about soul.
I think that is why people read Bhagavad Gita during death, I mean after death, like in that house they read Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
My neighbor, so he was practicing the spirituality through the art and religion. Unfortunately, his father passed away during the COVID. Even though he was very healthy, they were not expecting something like him.
Yeah.
father's mother also. So now he started asking question, what is the purpose of life? Before, while I was interacting with him, he was like completely technical, like talking about VR, AR.
Yeah. Now he's talking about real life.
He was practicing art of living.
Yeah.
And the art of living, helping them to keep happy and very peaceful and more.
When everything is going
getting
good.
them ready, yeah, everything is going good. Getting them ready to accomplish more.
Yeah.
Art of living. I know. Everybody.
Yeah.
So they come to us with that.
Yeah. So when we are in a situation, right, instead of, that's why, as Aparna said, unless we have a higher taste, unless we have a higher goal and higher taste, it is not possible to tolerate things. The parent example you said, right? So mother has a higher goal of keeping the child happy. For that, she's ready to sacrifice anything. She's ready to tolerate anything. Similarly, unless we have this higher taste and higher goal of Krishna Prema, Krishna Bhakti, then it is not possible to tolerate things in a substantial way. You can tolerate little things, but big things like COVID and the diseases and death, you cannot tolerate. For example, a person. So the point is, instead of keeping resentment on things, resentment is you are forced to do something that you don't like, and you are angry. That is resentment. You are forced to do something that you don't like, and you naturally become angry. So that is resentment. So instead of keeping resentment, because more than the reality of the problem, the resentment of the problem hurts more. For example, let's say somebody planned for a picnic. Just when we were coming, from Samamis to here, all of us, we felt as if we were going on a picnic. So let's say we planned for a picnic, and then all of a sudden, there are a group of 10 friends, everybody planned for a picnic, and one person all of a sudden becomes sick. And then he's forced to sit at home. He cannot go picnic, whereas others are going and enjoying. Now, what is his situation?
It's just sick. And normally, if we are sick, we would like to sit at home and sleep it off.
Yeah. So he goes through resentment, right?
Because he could not attend the.
Yeah. Now he's forced to sit at home, which he does not like. He likes to go out and join the picnic with friends, but now he's forced to sit at home. That is resentment. Now, what is his actual disease? Fever. The fever can be cured by giving some medicine. Maybe in 1 day or 2 days, it can be cured. But more than the actual problem, more than the reality, what hurts more is the resentment. The resentment of the reality hurts more than the reality itself. So, because he has a resentment, that is hurting more than the reality itself. The reality will go away. The fever will go away in 1 or 2 days. But his resentment towards the reality is hurting more. Now, Telugulo, yeah. ఇప్పుడు ఎవరికైనా ఏదైనా సిచ్యువేషన్ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, లైఫ్లో ఏదైనా ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, ఆ యాక్చువల్ ప్రాబ్లం కంటే, అసలు విషయం కంటే ఆ మైండ్ ఉంటుంది చూసారా, ఆ మైండ్ ఆ అసలు విషయాన్ని పెద్దది చేసి ఆ సఫరింగ్, ఆ కష్టాన్ని ఇంకెక్కువ పెంచుతుంది అనమాట. మైండ్ భయం పెంచుతుంది. చిన్న కష్టమైనా దాన్ని పెద్ద కష్టంలా చేసి చూపిస్తుంది. అది. సో అట్లాంటప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేయాలంటే, మన దగ్గర ఏముంది, మన దగ్గర ఆప్షన్స్ ఏమున్నాయి, అప్పుడు మనకి అవైలబుల్ అందుబాటులో ఏమున్నాయి మనకి, అది చూసుకొని ఆ చిన్న ప్రాబ్లంని పెద్దది కాకుండా చూసుకోవాలి.
కొన్ని సందర్భాల్లో మనకు ప్రాబ్లం అనేది ఎలా సాల్వ్ చేయాలని తెలియదు, మైండ్ పనిచేయదు, అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి?
అప్పుడు గైడెన్స్ తీసుకోవాలి. ఇప్పుడు చిన్నోళ్ళ మేమైతే ఇప్పుడు మీలాంటి పెద్దల గైడెన్స్ తీసుకోవాలి. మీరు ఎవరైనా గురువులు ఉంటే వాళ్ళ గైడెన్స్ తీసుకోవాలి. అట్లా గైడెన్స్ తోటి మనకి సాల్వ్ అవుతాయి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్. ఎందుకంటే మనం ఆల్రెడీ ప్రాబ్లంలో ఉన్నప్పుడు మనం పరిష్కరించుకోలేము దాన్ని, అవతల వ్యక్తి పరిష్కరించగలరు.
టెన్షన్ లో నా మైండ్ పనిచేయదు.
అవును,
ఎదుటి వ్యక్తికి కూల్ గా ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి
కరెక్ట్. Yes, correct. So now that person in that example, right? Now he's sitting at home. Now instead of keeping resentment on the reality is fever and he's not able to join the picnic. Instead of keeping resentment, what he should focus is what is available for me now. So what can he do? He's at home. He cannot go to the picnic, but what is he available? Very good. Watch TV, yeah. Because he wants some happiness, some pleasure, some entertainment. So that's the best thing he can do. Instead of resenting that, oh, I'm not able to go. Why I'm not able to go? Why only me? Why everyone else is joining the picnic? They're all enjoying. Why not me? Instead of breaking his mind over that, he can resort to some options like this. He can read a book or watch TV or talk with family friends, family people, something.
Yeah, it's not easy that easy, because sometimes you want your brother's marriage happening in India, suddenly your flight gets cancelled.
I mean, yeah, there are bigger favors. Yeah.
So the best option available is Zoom call.
During COVID, the engagement and everything happened over engagement itself.
Boy one side and God is on the
They are putting in the video.
No, I'll tell you the different level of that Zoom call wedding.
Okay.
Perhaps you might have heard it. Boy one place, girl one place. Maybe marriage also happened. We don't know.
Maybe.
But another height of it is there was a wedding, boy and girl in the same place. Wedding was happening in US. And in India, did you see this? In India, they booked a function hall. Okay? The Kalyana Mandapam. They booked a chusar verdi? Uncle Ardhavindi. So they booked a Kalyana Mandapam function hall, invited all the guests, just like a real wedding is happening. And then they put a big screen and telecasted the Zoom call, display there. Screen me chesaru. Andaru ikkada kuchunnadu, andaru chusaru. Everybody was watching that. And then after that, the lunch and everything, as if like a real wedding happened.
They could have saved money.
Yeah.
What I thought is, okay, if my marriage happened during COVID, I would have saved lakhs and lakhs of rupees.
Yeah.
5 years later, Mataji will get married people on Facebook because we are.
They feel like they're getting married, but in actually they're sitting
And
at
you
home.
can wear expensive gowns, clothes, whatever you
Oh, you are saying second marriage?
like. Facebook will go to India.
You said 5 years later, Mataji will get married.
No, Mataji will get people married.
Oh, she will get people get married. Okay.
Actually, that is it, right? That is it. Like metaverse is, you can experience that.
Yeah.
You will experience that.
If somebody wants to know how my married life will be, Facebook will give you a virtual wife and kid. And the AI will be so smart by then that the AI will learn that person's habit and will accordingly react to your habits.
Yeah, client, it will anyway. It all of the Facebook and Instagram, they have already captured our client profiles.
Yeah,
I mean, how we
the
behave,
data is
what we
there.
search, what we do, what we all the things that we talk is already getting recorded.
Yeah.
So they probably know everything about us. So it's easy to recreate that person.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So going back to that example and how I'm connecting to what Aparna mentioned, if you still remember what Aparna mentioned. So in that example, the best advice for that person is to resort to whatever is available. Okay, like watching TV or reading a book, whatever.
Shifting your focus.
Yeah.
To something more positive or productive.
Yeah, instead of keeping resentment and worrying why it is happening only to me, that kind of thing. Similarly, when a situation happens in our life and we have to tolerate, instead of asking, why me and why only me, instead of that, you have to see what is available to you. You have to see what is available to you. Instead of asking what is not available, you have to see what is available to you. And what is available to us? No, that knowledge is, Krishna. Krishna is available. The spirit soul, okay? The spirit soul, the eternal thing, unchangeable thing, that is available to us. So when we resort to the higher things, now in that example, what he was resorting to, his focus was shifting from one material thing to another material thing, because it's a small problem. But when big things happen in life, we have to shift our focus from material to spiritual. When we resort to the higher taste and higher goals, then only it is possible to tolerate big things. That's why Krishna put this topic of tolerance amidst these 20 shlokas. So it's very important. It's 1:29, almost 1:30. I think we can conclude here. We'll discuss probably next class also on the tolerance. And maybe that will be the last class then. We have discussed enough on tolerance.
If we are at home by 12, we will have to run. Now we are distracted by the higher.
Yeah. What drives that?
Shifting of mind immediately and not repenting on that, what we miss.
The knowledge of the facility that's available, the knowledge of the soul, the knowledge of Krishna Prema, Krishna Bhakti, the knowledge or the intelligence. Yeah. Because without this knowledge, if there's a death in the family, it's very hard to digest that. COVID, it's very difficult to digest COVID. Without this knowledge of soul and Krishna, it's very difficult. Very difficult to understand and very difficult to tolerate. Yeah.
You would just suffer saying, why me?
Yeah.
During COVID, if it happened.
Yeah. So let's say a person is trying to go from point A to point B, and then on the way he's lost. He ended up being somewhere else. Instead of reaching the destination, he ended up being somewhere else. Now, what should be his response? If he keeps on saying, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? He will never reach the destination. His question should be, how should I go there? Where should I have been and how should I go there? Instead of asking, why am I here? I mean, he can ask once, okay? He can ask once, why am I here? And where I should have been and how can I be there? How can I go there? But if he keeps on repeating the same question, why am I here? Why am I here? So he has to tolerate that fact first. He has to tolerate that, okay, somehow he ended up being there. What next? What next? How should I go there and where should I be? Where should I be and how should I go there? Yeah.
So on the context of why am I here and how I am here, I have a question. How did you came into Bhakti?
Yeah, I remember last week you brought up this topic, right?
Yeah.
So you asked to share everyone like how we got connected to Krishna.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you first.
So yeah, we can have that discussion maybe while eating prasadam or maybe in the next class, whatever works. I heard, while we were driving, right? While Naresh Prabhu gave road ride to everyone, you both were discussing, right? Yeah. So I heard some part of it. Yeah, we can discuss either during
And now I want
lunch,
to hear what we were.
during lunch, or maybe during.
We were discussing about
next
Dyson
class.
properties.
Huh?
So our topic is our topic is not important.
Okay.
Materialistic.
Material part.
But it's
Listening to some Krishna bhajans and we were discussing material.
That is also needed. Material things also needed. We discussed both. We discussed material and everything. Yeah. So,
Maharaji and me always will.
elevated.
what was the topic of your discussion?
Like how they got connected to Krishna. How they got connected to Krishna consciousness. How they started this journey.
How you started doing it? Give us the nectar too.
Maybe we can discuss over lunch. probably.
Over lunch or maybe next time.
We are having 6 weeks straight.
Yeah, we.
Yeah.
we can talk about it.
You get the plates and then.
I'm laying the ground.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm laying the virtual space.
Yeah.
And then-
I was not wondering about you. Prabhu.
Me?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your actual name is Srinivas Sharan, right?
Yeah. No. Actual name is Srinivas.
That's right.
Last name Kasam.
Yeah.
But my initiated name, spiritual name is Srinivas Sharan.
I got scared. I found something about you. And I must confess that I was not always very pious. So,
Telling why you're not wise now.
The Guruji, yeah. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj.
You're wise.
So spiritual names are given.
At the time of initiation, they give spiritual name. The idea behind that is, most of the people, they have different names, right? They are not related to God at all. I mean, our generation,
Yeah.
Swati, your name is also related to God. Srinivas, definitely. Swarit, I don't know the meaning of Swarit. Must be one of Krishna's names only, right?
yes and no.
Hmm.
So, Swarit is actually the word appears in Gopi Geet.
Okay.
When they sing Gopi Geet, there's a line, Swarit Venunam Krishna Chumbikam, which means that when Krishna plays the flute, when the lips are touching the flute and the vibrations created by that, it's Swarit.
Extension.
Everybody.
Yeah. So Ashok, Venugopal, the highest category of, Sakshat Krishna himself.
Mom, to conceive me, she prayed to Lord Narasimha.
Lord Narasimha? Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, Naresh. Okay. Kiran, unda emana?
No. No direct meaning.
Yeah.
But it's like sun ray.
Sun ray,
and
Kiranam.
that's all.
Yeah. Yeah. That's also related to God, Surya Bhagavan,
But when my mom named, it's like that's the latest trend going on. That's it.
Yeah. Nowadays, it is a trend to find unique name.
Yeah.
That's always there. Right?
That's always
I
there.
have a friend whose name is Apratim.
Apratim?
Yeah, and I was like,
What?
Baba, I used to think my name is unique. What?
Apratim.
Yeah, my nephew's name is again something my mother chose, and his name Agam. So which my mother also took that from Vishnu Sahasranam.
Yeah. అంతే కదండి అంకుల్ ఇప్పుడు మీలాంటి పేరెంట్స్ అందరూ మాకు పేర్లు పెట్టినప్పుడు అన్ని దేవుడికి సంబంధించిన పేర్లే పెట్టేవాళ్ళు. ఇప్పుడు అన్ని చింటూ, మోటు, బోటు, పింకీ, డింకీ, అసలు ఏం పేరు వాళ్ళకే అర్థం అవుతా, మీనింగ్ వాళ్ళకే తెలియదు అది. పెట్టేవాడు అప్పుడు అన్ని.
Nowadays people are like, especially agar aap yahan pe like if you're in US, like my cousin, she named her daughter Kiara.
Kiara.
And like, what's going on?
Yeah, we are
Then,
in America, like this one. But our concept was
Good name.
our children. We were done. I don't think it's there before. Where are both are towards the person who
But that's still వాడి పిల్లలే కూడా పప్పి అని యాక్చువల్ పేరు మర్చిపో.
But Kiara is
అంతే. ఇప్పుడు
European name.
yeah.
యాక్చువల్ పేరు పిలిస్తే భగవంతుడి నామం కలిసిన బెనిఫిట్ ఉంటుంది. ఎన్నిసార్లు పరిగితే అంత మంచిది అది.
రమాకాంత్ అని పెట్టాం.
ఆ, మర్చిపోతాం, ఏదో పేరు పెడతాం, ఏదో పిలుస్తాం. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చిన తర్వాత కూడా చాలా మంది మంచి మంచి పేర్లు ఉంటాయి. ఇప్పుడు అంజలి అని ఉందనుకోండి, యాంజీ అని మార్చుకుంటాం. అన్నపూర్ణ, ఆనా, చేంజ్ ఇట్ టు ఆనా. Anna.
I remember
Krishnamurti, Chris.
Yeah.
Krishnamurti becomes Chris.
I remember when we were
So unfortunately.
Srini, yeah.
when
That at least is half benefit.
when I started my first job, when I started my first like stepped into my career or my first job,
Yeah.
it was like a fun job. So at that point of time in Delhi, the idea of call center was going on too much. And I'm like, let's see what's going on. And me and my friend, we passed our school, and between